Do you have a plan in place for your assets in the event you should pass away? It's not something we typically like to talk about, but our next guests say it's absolutely critical. Joining us now to explain are two of Southern Nevada's premier retirement advisors, Nick Strobelt and Eric Nimmer from Ashton Strobelt. Good morning to both of you and welcome.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having us.
Our pleasure. Now, Nick, let's start with you. Why is estate planning so important?
You know, that's a really good question, and many people don't really know why it's so important, but one of the reasons why it is because we don't know the future, of course. And so if you imagine for a second that something happens to us and we fail to answer some important questions, we can make the lives of those that we care about much more difficult in a time of grief. And that's something that we want to avoid at all costs. And so that's why having an estate plan is vital. And so formalizing some decisions early into a proper estate plan is the way to avoid that situation. And if you think of what an estate plan is, all it is a collection of legal documents that help decide where your assets and your money would go if something would ever happen to you.
Now, Eric, if we're trying to figure that out, what's the first step we should take?
Yeah, the first step is deciding that you're going to take the action and actually go out and do it. It's a lot like my honey-do list where my wife says, you know, can you get to this? And I say, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes around, and of course I say, I'll do it again tomorrow. And that is an endless cycle. But estate planning kind of falls under that same umbrella where a 40 or 50-year-old, a lot of times they say, you know what, I don't think I need that yet. I'll do it when I'm 50 or I'll do it when I'm 60 or 65. And then we get to that point and they say, you know, I'm still doing well, I'm still healthy, I'll do it when I'm 70. But making the decision that you're going to take the action and do it today and get your estate planning in order is really the first step. And then finding somebody that you trust. We work really closely with Clear Counsel here locally. And we know that they're going to take good care of our clients. And we're there. They're doing all of the documents like Nick said, but we're there to help and to be a part of that and make sure that all of our clients' needs are taken care of.
Yes. Now, Nick, when it comes to planning for your estate, most people think it's for the rich and the wealthy. Is that the case?
Well, not at all, actually. That's a big misconception that's out there is like, I need to have lots of wealth, I need to have lots of assets before it's worth it to buy an estate plan of any sort. But I don't really know of anyone that doesn't need at least some type of estate planning work done for them. For example, there's power of attorney documents that are available, and what those do is if you ever came to a state where you became incapacitated for any reason, the question is who would make financial and medical decisions for you in your behalf? Which that document would help decide that in advance. Or in another situation is if you have kids that are minors or under 18 years old, if something happened to you, if you became incapacitated, who would you want to take care of those kids in that situation? And both of those scenarios are not contingent upon your level of wealth at all. And so everyone needs at least some type of estate planning, you know, for their plan. Now, if you have assets in your home, like equity in your house or other brokerage accounts or any other types of things, life insurance, then you might need additional estate planning work done, such as a revocable living trust might be a good place to put some funds. Yeah. And that way your estate can help avoid the probate process in the courts to make your loved ones and beneficiaries' lives much better down the road.
Yeah, I had a friend whose father passed away and his thing was stuck in probate for over a year.
Oh my gosh.
And it's so expensive too when that happens. So for you to have a plan, an estate plan, and give it to the heirs that you want to give it to is so much easier.
Absolutely. And if you talk to an attorney, if the probate process is often much more expensive than just being, you know, proactive and doing the estate planning work on the front end. Yeah. And you're saving lots of headaches down the road.
Now, Eric, is it common for financial planners and advisors such as yourself to help people with estate planning?
That's one of those questions that is what's common and what's actually taking place the same thing. I don't think it happens enough where the financial advisor or the financial planner is a part of that process. I think it should be in every scenario that they take part in that planning. And it's not that they're drawing up the documents, but they're there to help make sure that everything's in order, to make sure that everything blends together as a plan, and it's not just one piece to a puzzle and another piece here, but that they're putting the whole puzzle together.
Yeah, it's interesting because in a estate planning attorney, they build something called a revocable living trust often, and that's like a box. I've heard of the analogy, the trust is like a box, and the box, anything you put in that box will avoid probate if you set it up properly with the licensed attorney. But often what happens is the process of the estate planning attorney often ends there, and none of your assets are put inside of that box. And so the financial planner, the finance guy, comes in and helps put those assets inside the box to complete the process, and that's called funding the trust. And so that's why it's so important to make sure that the accounts are set up in the proper way, that the beneficiaries are set up properly, and that's the financial planner side that helps to complete that process.
Yeah, some great advice for us, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
appreciate it. Be sure to tune in each Thursday morning right here on The Blend for more information on Ash and Strobelt and how they can help you retire successfully. They are located in Henderson, the address right there on your screen. Check out the website for more details or call the number listed. Up next.